is what we call
hater shit.
There is no better term.
You know me. If you know me, you know me. If you know, you know. You know, so this. That's what they mean. That's what they mean when they were calling me privileged. Even though I was poor and homeless at that time that they were calling me that, they were exposing me to this entire demographic of person who was used to living through that, which I had never been. I had never been heckled and harassed and bullied. Like, who bullies? How old do you have to be to bully? And if this is AI that's bullying, we have an even bigger problem. An even bigger problem. For 2 years from that time, I gave birth to my son, Weston Mateo Gillespie. The whole time I've seen my care physician on a regular basis so that I make sure I'm updating my chart always with what's going on, what environmental circumstances I'm dealing with, what sort of, physical things are hindering my elevation or my reunification with the workforce or my primary home or my family, et cetera, and so forth. And I'm going into detail and I'm typing and I'm writing and I'm reaching out to domestic abuse advocates, and I'm reaching out to human sex trafficking advocates, and I'm reaching out to law enforcement, and I'm reaching out to the state's attorneys, and I'm reaching out to everyone. And it was not until every single time we called 311, they kept saying, once you have your baby, you'll be placed in a shelter. And from there, you'll get an apartment. Keep calling. And I kept calling and calling and calling and calling and calling. And when Weston was 2 days old, we got accepted into a shelter, not because they helped us at the hospital, not because they helped us at the police station. I kept on calling, and it was probably like my 1,000th call. And they finally said, okay, we have a place for you. And I was like, oh my God. I walked 8 miles when my son was 2 days old. 8 miles. 8 miles. On foot. 2 days postpartum. What type of an audience makes fun of someone who's enduring some sort of tragedy like that? How do we isolate the audience that participates in that type of bullying and put them in a group of their own so that they can go against one another rather than the peaceful, proactive, intelligent, kind, caring individuals? VLAW are the acronyms of my children. VLAW, VLAW, Viviana Lewis Alexis Weston, my entire heart, everything that I love about this world. VLAW, virtual law.
Virtual law? No, she didn't.
I didn't plan that.
Virtual law? No, it doesn't stand for virtual. It stands for your oldest daughter's name, you idiot.
So we finally made it into housing, and They told us at the first place we went to, we've been to 4 places. This is our 4th place now. Shield, Believe, Olive Branch, and here. Yeah, this is our 4th place that we've been to since February. And they told us that we would be here until we were given our apartment or a townhome.
What?
They said they assess the needs of your family, the family size, et cetera, and so forth. And then they give you your apartment or your townhome. So we're waiting for that still. And
that is
in the meantime, I'm doing all of these services. And then I look onto social media and I scroll through an array of people getting drunk, people bathing in 50-gallon tubs of ramen noodles mixed with water, people filling up pools with Orbeez, people turning their parents' living room into a bar with a jacuzzi inside, people getting into street fights, people going to the nightclub and racing each other and shot taking, people smoking drugs, people, riding their wheelie motorcycles down the street on on one tire. And this is what I scroll through. I say to myself, why am I seeing this? I talk about things like breast pumping and being, a good mother and what to do with an infant child and all of the lessons I've learned in homelessness and also in employment as well as in entrepreneurship and in public speaking and all of the ways that I've been able to expand upon my knowledge and expertise in all of those areas respectively. And I don't understand what's going on in the world. I don't understand what kind of a world we're living in where someone like myself, under the circumstances and situation that I am dealing with and have dealt with, have the outcome that I have, while all of these other people seem to celebrate their tyranny, their disobedience, their
they smoking in the room.
Aversity, or their rebellion to traditional societal norms. And it's confusing for me, I pray that technology, most certainly TikTok, will hurry up. I think it's disgusting to have an app like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or Twitter that you can't control. I think that we have far too many technologists who know how to program algorithms and also know how to protect everyone from internet trolls. And I think that internet trolls are a different category than people who are harassing, following, baiting, instigating, bullying with intention. I also think it's funny that I ignore 99% of the disgusting, nasty comments that come through. But the second I make one comment back and it fails in comparison, has absolutely... When we're talking about who knows how to be a nastier, more mean, disgusting individual, I do not win by any means. The things I say are overall and in general far less combative and offensive than the things that are being said to me. Yet the things that are being sent to me are allowed to come through. And I make one comment back and immediately
no
it's
one
flagged
said anything
and I get a warning on my
bad.
account.
I haven't seen anything like horrible.
Why? You guys, why? Human suffering is not necessary. Suffering is not necessary to the human experience.
Yeah, you tell people to kill themselves all the time.
If someone thinks it is necessary to the human experience, I invite them to be on the receiving end of the bullying. For someone like myself who agrees it's not necessary to the human experience, I invite AI, artificial intelligence, and the programmers for TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, all of the others, to step up. We should not be getting bullied online. I'm a 37-year-old woman, capable of articulating, who has been articulating for 5 years exactly what it means to be bullied on the internet and off of the internet with very little relief. As I've said about convicts looking for employment, as I've said about people who cannot articulate, as I've said about people without papers to work in this country, I'll say it again and apply it in the context of here online. A child.
What is your name,
how would they defend themselves or protect themselves from this type of adversity, from this type of bullying? If I'm clearly communicating repeatedly and relentlessly that this is wrong, and yet it's continued to go on, and it's allowed to continue to go on, what chance does our generation, underneath, or generation before, after rather, have to combat this type of bullying? Our kids are going to school with a class of 30 and then jumping on TikTok with an audience of 30 million. If social media doesn't have the type of filtering, the law, to silence those types of bullying and get rid of that type of behavior after my 4-5 years personal experience of reporting on it, then it should be banned. And I don't think it needs to get to the point of banning it, because I know that there are methods to prevent the bullying. So what is going on? And how do we get answers? In the world, there are always going to be people who agree with you and see things from your perspective and people who don't. Why would social media algorithms intentionally run to funnel people who don't agree into my account? Why wouldn't social media algorithms run in a way that puts me into groups with like-minded individuals so that I can have support systems in the same way that everyone else wants to have them?
Was she reading comments or is she taking comments off? Sorry, that was the radio. Sorry, y'all ignore the radio in the back.
On this Father's Day,
I turned it down.
I just really think that it's important for everyone to... Hold on, you guys. They're asking me to verify. There we go. I just think that it's really important that everyone who has exposed themselves as an abusive bully is... Wow, thank you. What is that? Cool. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. But yeah, I just think that everyone who has exposed themselves, thank you so much. What do I do with these, you guys? Wow. I just really want to urge everyone, and I really hope for everyone who's joined me on YouTube, you know that I'm doing AI classes and cybersecurity classes. I don't think these should be areas of discussion anymore because I think they should be controlled. We don't need to ban social media. We need to run the same algorithms that we run in marketing success. Oh, you're selling, hairbrushes. Let's put your product into a whole bunch of people in a market demographic of people who will buy hairbrushes. Your algorithms are gonna look for people who are bald, right? And not try to sell them the hairbrush. We have that technology, then we have the technology to keep people who are on here saying you're ugly, you're fat, your tooth is ugly, you're homeless, you're this, you're that. We can get them off of here as well. Let's do that.
Let's not talk about AI, please. Shall we? Shall we not?
Oh my goodness, why have I not? This is not a lot of milk for you.
Girl, you better put your head up.
We've been on here for a while, haven't we? How long have I been on here?
I don't know, I was late.
How long have
Thankfully,
we been on
someone told me.
here?
Shut up.
How long have we been? I can't tell. I'm so like not familiar with TikTok. Every single time I get on TikTok, I feel like these people like say the most terrible things, like awful things, and so I lose
Did she just get money from
to
that?
learn the platform, which is not the way it's supposed to be. Gary Vee says, continue marketing on your 5 channels and do not be deterred by the haters. So I really haven't had much experience with TikTok. I did ask for those little hearts with hands, you guys. I wish that someone would give me those. Is that money? Or like, what do you use that for? Do you guys use that for TikTok shop? Woo, thank you, Lisa. Lisa sent a rose. Lisa sent a rose.
What?
Lisa.
Isn't that
What's
cowboy hat money?
Don't give her the money. Don't send her anything. We've been on here longer than you've been a parent. Prom money. Gee, what's that? Money? You guys, 2 cent prom money.
She's actually reading comments. Look at that.
Can X explain his eyebrows, teeth? Your daughter said you didn't give her any money for prom. Your own daughter, prom why? I sent you $1.50. Where is your newborn baby? Did you get your hair highlighted? Huffington. You asked for money for prom for Viv and didn't give it to her. Tent Life is calling. Prom money. Just got the number 2 gifter, Savage. Free Weston Mateo, Little Eggs, Montoya, IDOC Y12173. From the lines coming in strong. This is fun. Duster, Truth, Facts. Case, Casa Coleman, here you come. Kids are safe. Why doesn't your son have his father's last name? Adoption. Oh shit, we got her attention. I can't believe she's reading comments. Why are you unemployed? Poor baby is being raised by a stranger. Air duster. Thank you for finally reading comments. You are never getting Rico back. We heard you smoking duster, abortion, lazy. This is gold. The grandma has the baby. You feed one out of 4 kids. You are able to cash out gifts before I send. Are you able to cash out gifts before I send? I think so. Tent is calling, sweetheart. What is your name, man? And this is what I mean. How is law enforcement going to allow this to continue for 5 years? Where are we living? Where there are people in society who are so lonely, miserable, and sad that they can go on my live account and slander and libel and harass and etc. and so forth. I have never run a scam on any of my social medias. You guys want to know about scams? You want me to teach you how to scam? I don't know how. If I was a fucking con artist, don't you think I would be not living in a shelter, you moron?
Girl, you better thank Laura.
God, please help me.
You better
I'm
thank
sinking
Laura.
to their level.
You better thank Laura.
Let's use common sense. If a person knows how to be a scam artist, they're probably not living in a tent, right? Duh. So stupid.
You're not living in a tent.
Should I say it in Spanish? Si alguien es una persona que... yo no sé cómo se dice scam artist en español. Pero si alguien está haciendo algo malo para dinero, ellos van a tener dinero para comprar una casa. ¿Verdad? Oh, ¿no sabes?
No.
Porque eres una horrible, grosero, hablando mal.
Heather, you know why everyone's doing this.
Yo no sé, pero estas personas están como 5 personas malas por una buena. Muchas gracias para la buena que está aquí.
You're hurting a lot of people right now.
What else is going on before I finish pumping? It's Father's Day, Xavier's first Father's Day. My experience, if you guys know, with regards to the employment comment, I wish I could tell you. I have a lot of experience in healthcare. My children have lived with me their entire lives from birth all the way until 2020 when you know who, the person I did the appearance of the reality show with, got home and became incredibly abusive. And this is always going to be my main thing. Like, how does a person come home on parole, use drugs and alcohol? And you guys can Google. I believe he had an issue with his next person her name is Marissa. And it was like Marissa and Dylan comment on Chicago police kicking down the door, finding tons of drugs and guns, blah, blah, blah. But yet I was the one who got thrown into a tent and forced to take all of these services. And it's been 5 years since all of this began. I have no criminal record. I have never done anything like that in my life. I think I've held a gun once in real life, and it was someone's real legal gun. Like, I didn't hold it at a person. I just looked at it. I've never owned a gun or had a gun in my house. I've never been distributing any sort of drug paraphernalias or doing anything of the sort. But yet here we are, and then they're like, well, don't compare your situation. Well,
they don't have
these
a perfect
people jump on their
either.
lives. Are they dealing with 1,000 people addressing them in ways that are bullying and negative?
Sometimes
they're not.
Probably.
They're not. And they're using their social medias in ways that I historically have been successful in use for business, for making money.
You're jealous for no reason.
Advertising a product, a service, an idea, a thought. That's what social media is to me. For some people, social media is a group of friends who care about them. I want my social media to be a supportive place. How do I find someone? It shouldn't even have to be a person's job to ban people who are nasty. There should be a moderator who algorithmically already knows how to remove these people who continue on with the same comments, especially after 5 years of doing this. You have to have nothing You want to talk about having nothing going on in your life? 5 years of harassing a person who's literally done nothing to you? Nothing at all, ever. Like, why? What is your problem? And I'm asking from the bottom of my heart because I could probably like help you find a therapist if you want one. You know, if you are having these issues of self-hatred that boil over to the point where you take effort and pleasure to go into someone else's safe space, i.e., this is my TikTok. So this is my safe space to talk about things I want to talk about. And if you don't want to talk about those things, you could just go like this. Boop, 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 boop. You know, and
That's
there you
cool.
go. Guess what? There's like a billion other creators talking about stuff that you might resonate with more. You don't have to be here hablando groserías.
Oh my gosh, girl, stop it, please stop.
For no reason. Like, just keep on scrolling, please. This is definitely going to affect my milk quality. Thank you guys for sending me gifts. That's so dope. This is my very first time knowing about gifts. I think I've been sent like 4 or 5 other gifts before, and I really don't know what they're like supposed to be for or how you cash them out. But I'm definitely interested in continuing to learn about that, as I am
sure
interested
you
in
are.
furthering the algorithmic efficiency, effectiveness of banning all bullies from all social medias. Why are we tripping about Donald Trump having a Twitter and saying he's not allowed to be on? I don't really think that should be allowed. I don't think that someone running for public office should ever be allowed to be and allowing people who are bullies to stay on. Why wouldn't we ban all the bullies? And like that runs deep, like use biometrics to scan their pupil from their device, whatever device they're using. If they're a mean, nasty person repeatedly, just go ahead and block them forever. Oh, you're mean and nasty. Unless you want to be nice, you're not allowed here anymore. Like we have to teach these people. Xavier, you have pants on, right?
No.
Okay, because I'm live.
No,
we have
didn't.
to teach these people that they are not allowed to be mean to anyone. Like, just don't be mean, please. It's so nasty for no reason. For no reason. I'm struggling. Hello? Do you not see me? I'm anxious a lot of the time.
Xavier
I
looks
miss
like
my
a
children.
girl.
Like, I wake up, you guys, and I, like, literally start freaking out. I'm like, I belong nowhere. Like, I need to go. I need to be with my kids. I need my home back.
Why does he wear a towel
That's
like that?
how I feel, you know, and I have to work through those feelings on a daily basis. For someone who feels that way and is working through those feelings on a daily basis, why would you think that it was appropriate to go into their comments and be hateful to them? Like, what kind of nasty bottom feeders are you?
Bottom feeders.
Really? But before we go off, I just want to go back on the subject of Father's Day. We do not really know what any person is experiencing in their life. If you are a father, if you have ever been a father, please do your best to be an amazing father. And the same if you're a mother, but since it's Father's Day, we'll continue talking about that because children deserve all the love and all the support. And while you're being a bully to a grown-up, just remember that that grown-up is someone's mom or dad most of the time. Someone's daughter or son all of the time.
All right.
And you're just being so nasty and mean for no good reason. And it's like, do I have better things to do than talk about this? I don't think I do right now. As a matter of fact, I think that it is probably one of the best uses of my time right now to talk about how terrible these bullies have been, how disappointing it has been to be abused and go to authority who I'm supposed to trust and believe in and be able to rely on and not receive the assistance that I should have received. And then furthermore, if you're not receiving the support that you are supposed to receive in your, you know, from those types of channels, social media is a last like resort for a lot of kids and young adults. If we don't have anyone else to turn to, there is a giant pool of people And there are a lot of good people who will give you a shoulder to cry on, or some support, or some resources, or become friends with you in real life even, or maybe business partners or whatever, whatever the case may be. So I want to know from all of the AI people, I don't know who created TikTok, but why are you allowing bullies to continue to participate on TikTok and other platforms of social media? I love
Bro, do you not
Facebook.
know who
I was
made
just
TikTok?
talking. Xavier has like some hard feelings towards Mark Zuckerberg. I am so grateful for his invention. I don't really know the politics and don't want to know the politics of like everything that goes on with that, but I can tell you this. My apartment was flooded, and all of my kids, and I'm the type of mom that like I kept my children's umbilical cord stumps. All of my children have a baby book, and I literally kept my children's umbilical cord stumps. I taped them into my children's baby books, and I went hard. I crocheted a blanket for each of my children. I have like these detailed baby books for my kids, and they were destroyed in a flood or from Aunt Stacy's house. I don't even know what, happened after that. But after the flood, I moved whatever I had left to Aunt Stacy's garage.
Xavier,
and Aunt Stacy, literally, not her garage, her basement, which was Aunt Diane's basement. Rest in peace, Aunt Diane. And I don't know if I have them anymore. Do you know what Facebook is? Facebook is a virtual baby book for me and for my children. And it's something that I wish my parents had access to when I was a baby. Like, how interesting will it be for my kids when they're older to go on the internet and say, oh my goodness, this is how I looked. This is what we did. This is where we lived. This is what my life was like. That's such a gift.
It's slowing
down. That is such a gift. So I'm a firm, huge advocate for social media, and it's, in my opinion, 1,000 million % more beneficial than it is harmful. We have children who are living in isolation or living in adversity or being bullied in real life, and they can come here, and this should always be a safe place for them to make friends who are in their, age range and appropriate level of understanding, to communicate with each other, to grow with, laugh with, engage with each other when maybe circumstances do not support that in their real life. There are kids who, maybe not even kids who live in bad neighborhoods, but kids who live in the house during summer. Because how many of our kids go to school and the school is like a babysitter? So when the parents are at work during the summer, they're like, you're in the house, door locked, you're not allowed to go outside. What a terrible way to spend your summer, right? But I get it. I was that kid a few summers, where my parents needed us to stay in the house because they were not going to be home, and we needed to stay in the house. It doesn't have to just be like this severe thing. It does exist that there are neighborhoods that are not safe for children to go outside and play in. So social media should be that space for ourselves and for our children. And there should 100% be, and I know that there are, algorithmic abilities, AI abilities, virtual artificial intelligent police officers who can ban, block, punish, censor, remove bullying,
Happy Father's Day, everyone.
Commentary, etc. from the entire platform. I know that they exist, and I know that they are, 100% possible. Another thing about that little AI course that I learned is that the majority of entry-level jobs are going to be extinct in the next, 6 years. 6 years, you guys.
So why get a job?
Crazy. What are we gonna do? No big deal. Another thing I learned from the AI is that if you think of jobs as rung ladders on a ladder, rungs on a ladder rather, they're creating some sort of AI entry that is being compared to a trampoline. So it will trampoline us onto the higher rungs, which is good news for all of us, because then some of those jobs that are super repetitive and elementary in nature, not really stimulating mentally or fun to do, no one really likes them, can be taken over by AI. So we don't need to be threatened by AI or afraid of AI. We really need to be grateful for AI and
Fuck AI.
just remember that AI is ultimately programmed by human behavior. So
And
the
there's a
behaviors that we
bitch.
want to
I'm sorry,
receive,
I'm
the
sorry.
treatment we want to
I'm gonna try
receive,
back
the
off.
love, the support, the affection that we want to receive is what we need to be teaching the AI. If you have a moment to jump in someone's comments and say something offensive, then you also have the same amount of time to say something uplifting. So if there's someone who you don't think you agree with and you can't disagree in a way that's not bullying and harassing and mean and elementary, then how about you just find a different account that you actually like and you make a positive impact to that account. If we can all take a really, really tremendous effort at diminishing the negative impact we have and amplifying, multiplying the positive impact that we have on each other, on society, we would be in such a different place in a day from now, in an hour from now.
Oh my gosh.
If every single one of you that were on this live wrote something positive to like 10 accounts, can you even imagine?
Get off my shit, man.
Just imagine it. Versus what happens when someone's mean and nasty to you. You like probably will be mean and nasty to someone else, or at the very least quiet. You know, like I'm the type of person
Yeah,
naturally
bitch,
in my
say what?
natural state of homeostasis. I'm like boisterous and I don't want to say obnoxious, but the natural Heather, if no one is being awful to me, I'm like, hi guys, how are you? Good morning. Have a great day.
Why are
That's
you
my
yelling?
natural, you know, how I am. If you see me quiet, it's because someone was probably being really mean and awful to me. So when you measure the impact that we're able to have, you're being mean and awful to one person, it could have much greater of a negative impact than you even understand. If that one person is a support person, a catalyst for positivity, you know, or anything like that, and you silence them or harm them or quiet them or fill them with anxiety and unnerve them, they can't be any strength for anyone else in those moments. Okay.
Does anybody
Hold on,
else's
guys, I need to
man
take off my
use a towel like Xavier uses a towel? I've never seen a man wear a towel like that.
Leche de pecho. Ouch. This one always makes more than this one.
Okay,
Always.
don't need to see that.
With all my children.
Is it dump day?
He came from heaven above.
Finish it. To show me the way. Alright, this is weird. I feel like we're seeing our get
Okay.
dressed.
Oh God, that was so uncomfortable where I was sitting.
Oh my
But I
gosh,
didn't want
take
to show
that
you guys my boobs on
off.
accident. Okay. It's Father's
She's a
Day. I'm
giant.
gonna go spend some time with Xavier. Everyone have a great Father's Day. Please try not to be assholes because it's just uncalled for. And please be nice to me. I really resent your being mean a lot. Thank you.
I resent you, Heather.